All right. Y'all tweet the show out again or whatever. I ain't got to do no intro, none of that shit. Because I don't know why, bro. I swear to God, I don't know if it's because I don't know how it happens. Like that shit's brutal. When you shit saying that you don't have all of what I have to pay for internet for it not to work right, it kind of pisses me off.
Yeah, like what? 3 games?
Hashtag Comcast, bro.
1, 2, and 3. Yeah, it was 3.
Actually,
it's booming.
It's probably. I'm gonna be honest with you. It probably got something to do with this damn Surface Pro. I'm just gonna start streaming from the freaking Death Star. It's overpowered. I'll never have no issues like that with that machine. But,
I thought you were streaming from there already.
No, I never did. I always be doing it with the Surface Pro because it's convenient, because it's right next to me, right in front of me. I just flip it up, but I'm gonna start doing it from the Death Star. Death Star will laugh at this stuff. Tweet this show.
Now, when you say Death Star, is it the first one or the second one?
No. This one here, this is the Ricky Brown Death Star. It costs $10K, so it ain't never gonna fail. Yeah, there's a difference. You got some people that they talk about they got this, that, whatever.
Seem like it's failing right now.
Actually, I'm not using it. I'm not using it. So
maybe you should start using it, brother.
So maybe you don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Know-It-All.
I don't. I'm not there.
Well, then maybe you should ask questions before you jump.
Seems like it's failing. Nah, forget that. I'm being like you, bro.
No,
I'm just gonna jump to
You
conclusions.
can't be like me. I'm too dark. You don't understand half of this.
You're not dark skinned, bro. You light skinned with curly hair and you Indian.
Wow, man, this guy here. Well, you know what? You eat pork. How about that?
That's fine.
You eat pork.
Say what you want. Go ahead. You got anything else to say? I don't feel bad about.
Yeah, you eat shrimp, lobster, all them bottom feed, poison animal eater. So, all right. So my poll of the day, folks. I didn't get a chance to get into it. King Reaper is here. What's good, brother? Should Phil Spencer be fired?
The answer is no.
All right, now that's the question of the day. We'll get. Hey, Mello, you gotta cut that shit out. Yeah, there you go.
The answer is no.
Okay, well, we're going to close the show with that, and we'll see how everybody else feels. The Gaming Hero's here. Levon's here. Dre's here. Mello's here. You got some outside shit going. Big Shaq is here. And Ty, that man, is here. Now, we got some stuff to cover. We already covered some nonsense about college
basketball.
Yeah, nobody cares. But all right, so Levon, what else do you have for us?
All right, let's talk about this Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Voice actor teases remake. This quote here: "Have you beaten the Black Flag?" Ryan asks in the clip. The fan says they have, but it was a while ago. To that, Ryan responds, "Well, you might have to beat it again." Ryan then nods knowingly and smiles. "Is this true? I gotta run through all of them again," says the fan. "Well, especially this one," says Ryan in response. "There's a reason I say that, but I can't say anything." How do you guys feel about the idea and the possibility of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag remake? Who wants to start?
I don't. Listen, Dre, you play Black Flag?
No, I did not.
How about you, Big Shaq? You play Black Flag?
Man, I haven't played Assassin's Creed since the first one.
Oh shit, Ty, you play Black Flag?
Keep that. I didn't like. Me personally, I didn't like it, but I know people that do, but I don't want that.
King Reaper, have you played Black Flag? Hell, I gotta ask out the damn audience. Nobody on the panel played this damn thing.
I played it a little bit.
Holy shit! Ladies and gentlemen, Levon has played something besides a GD platformer. How about that?
Ricky Hart's taking off.
Oh my God, Ricky!
This dude Ricky. Oh my God.
I had to do it. The devil made me do it. That's what he did. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Come on. Y'all gotta admit, that's funny as hell. So anyway. Yo, it's funny, bro. Listen, like every time Nico releases a video or anybody, I always like it. And it shows up on my like shit. So every time I go into my YouTube, it's a picture of either like Levon, Nico. Parker's too ugly to show his face. So it'll be somebody else around there, you know, just supporting my brothers. So King Reaper actually played it and finished it. King Reaper, how do you feel about another one of these damn things coming out? So while King Reaper's getting ready to answer this, Nico, did you play it?
No.
You didn't play Black Flag? Oh, take five.
Make another one though.
No, it's a remake. It's a remake, brother. Wow. Remake.
Notice that everybody's remaking and remastering. There's no original, nothing. Now I got to shout out to X, and that's why Expedition 33 is my game of the year. It's not a sequel. It's not a remake. It's not a remaster. You see what I'm saying? It's something new. Yes, a new IP. If y'all don't get this old shit up out of here. And then I hear these jabronis tell me, well, you know, Oblivion remake or remaster, whatever it should be, nominated for Game of the Year. I disagree. I don't like that stuff. Give me new stuff. Come on, man. Stop this remake, remaster stuff. And then my man King Reaper said, no, he already beat it. So he's not interested. So you got a guy that played the game that beat it. He's not interested in the remake. I'm telling you right now, Obsidian, what was it? Obsidian? No, not Obsidian. Ubisoft. Now they got that money from the communists over there.
Well, I mean, Rick, a lot of people like this Assassin's Creed Black Flag. You know, they like the pirates.
I disagree, Levon, because hell, nobody's fucking. Now listen, I remember you guys did bring this game up to me when I was playing that Ubisoft pirate game.
Yeah, Skulls and Bones.
And you guys told me, you called me a coon. You told me, you said, well, Ricky, why are you excited to play that when you can do all that stuff in Assassin's Creed Black Flag or whatever it has? I'm like, well, damn, you guys really, you're haters of that. I like that game. You know, all the games I like, none of you guys like. None of y'all want to play wrestling. None of y'all want to play baseball. What do you people play?
I don't play wrestling.
Well, not you. Well, most of the I love wrestling, but I'm on PC now. Big Shaq's with wrestling. I ain't buying it no more for the console, bro. I'm good because now I found out how you can get like the real music now. Like if you get the NWO, Hogan,
you gotta get the modded up.
Yeah, buddy. So Teddy Digital's here, isn't that our Teddy? Isn't that him? He said no one is willing to take risk anymore. Facts. Every time gaming companies, do everyone shuns and don't support it. It's wasting money. Yes. How many times has somebody come out and did a Metacritic review and totally killed the game and made people not play? I'll give you one right now. South of Midnight. That was a good game. The Metacritic, that math was not mathing for what that game was. So that is BS. And that's when I'm like, you know what? Matter of fact, let me go take a look at some of these reviews for South of Midnight. You know, because
it was solid.
Yeah, but here's the Metacritic score they gave: 76. Are you nuts? How? I give it an 76.
It should be in the 80s,
bro. Listen. Hold on a second. Listen,
like an 83 or something, 84 maybe.
Put it on the board. So 88 people reviewed this game. All right. Okay. So look at this: 76 generally favored. Always 100. Look now. What happened? Now these okay. I wouldn't give it 100. But I mean, look, these are decent scores here, right? You see?
But you already know what happened with South of Midnight.
I'll be right back.
All right, hurry up.
You already know what happened with South of Midnight, Rick.
Yeah,
it had a black protagonist. People don't like that, and it had down south music.
Well, down south music. Hell, down south music. Hell, Trillo should have beat it twice. He likes that stuff, you know. All right, so check this out here. I made it to 90. Now, let's see why they didn't like the game. 80, 85. I want to get to these negative reviews here. Hey, IGN gave it an 80. Yeah, respect for you guys. Fucking Destin must have reviewed that one before he got fired. Fat bitch. All right, so here, first of all, I'll go as low as an 80, 70. All right, South of Midnight establishes itself as a good platform adventure that enhanced by a deeper than expected narrative and absolute captivating artwork. While the combat falls a bit short, I agree, the combat wasn't the best. We are faced with one of Xbox's with the most personality of the generation. How is that a 78 then, dickhead? You think you giving that where I'm from? What he just read, that's at least an 82, is it not? So why is that a 78?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? This is how a Metacritic score can fuck up a game. And like what Teddy was saying, they don't take risks. They took a risk with South of Midnight. Number one, a black female as the lead character. We know how that goes when they're mermaids and when they're in an Iron Man suit. You know how that goes when that happens. They're going to kill you. They're going to give you bad reviews. They're going to tell you everything sucks. This game didn't suck. And they fucking gave it a 70, what is this thing they gave it? A 76. Yo, that is bullshit. That is bullshit. 76 my ass. That's
So
it.
the combat put it down from 20 what? Damn near 22 points, 24 points because the combat wasn't good.
Yeah. Bro,
Yeah, that was crazy.
Bro, let's
Yeah.
keep things a bean around here. Dumb early freaking Bethesda RPGs, those combat is cans! And everybody rates them shits in the 90s. All you see is a guy swinging a sword going, and they're giving those games 90s. Bro, that is bullshit, man. I'm telling you. It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
They say get +9 for heavy breathing.
Bro, this is why we're never gonna get anything new. We're always gonna get sequels or something. We're always gonna get remakes and remasters of stuff. We're not getting anything new. Not from the big guys. It took Expedition 33 to come out here and give you a new IP and give you something new. They gave you an RPG. What? What do they call that? What's the combat? What? And what? They made it good. You parry during that combat. Everybody, say that again, sir. Turn-based, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Turn-based combat, but tell me they did not make that shit fire the way the turn-based combat was. That shit is fire. Bro, you can parry, you can jump, you can block, you can dodge. They made time-based combat fun again. It wasn't where you just press the A button or the X button and you gotta do this shit. You see what I'm saying? You were involved here. You were involved.
See what Square Enix said they're gonna make their next
Yeah.
So shout out to
Like that.
Dark
It
Mode
made Square Enix-
Fusion is here. Vaughn, we're not Vaughn.
Square Enix look in the mirror.
All right, Vaughn, Sony is making a new IP or Naughty Dog. It's not fucking here. I'm talking about right now. There's nothing new. It's all remake shit and all sequels. And when the new shit comes out, it gets a fucking 76 when it should have been at least an 80. That's what I'm talking about. That's garbage. And you review something bad, nobody puts money into something. Everybody is scared to death of these people that give reviews on games. And you know why it's like that? It's because gaming became expensive. Nobody wants to take a risk. Because they're like, man, I don't want to buy that game. It might stink. It might be cans. That's why. Because some idiot who rated the game and said it was a good game, he sat there and gave it a 78. That didn't even add up. What in the hell went through that guy's mind to give it a 70? You just praised it. So they had all kind of shit for Xbox this generation, and then you kicked it right in the groin. Folks, this is why I said I want a marathon to be good. This is why all that other stuff that come out, I said, let it be good. Because all you're going to get is remasters, remakes, and fucking Fortnite all the time. That's it. That's all you're gonna get because that's all everybody plays. Call of Duty, Fortnite, Roblox. We got the brother in here that plays that freaking board frame all the time. Hell, that's all he plays because they ain't got nothing good since it came out.
You'll stop the cap, bro.
It is. That's all he plays.
Brother.
The pastor is so bored. They have not given him another game to play. He's been playing board frame and he's got 1,000 freaking hours on Jupiter in that thing. Poor guy. I feel bad for him.
4,000 actually. 4,000.
Yeah, there you go. 4,000.
All right, but you know why I keep playing it? Because they release content, bro. What you want me to say?
Okay, well, you know what? We'll get to that later. But I just wanted to bring that up of South at Midnight. I thought that it was I thought it was at least an 80. And I know a 76 to 80, it's not big of a difference. But go ahead, say that again. All I heard was, did somebody say something? All right, whatever. Okay, so all right, so next article, Levon.
Well, pretty much this is going to be another Ubisoft type of topic here. Next mainline Ghost Recon game is heading to internal alpha later this year. It will enter internal alpha in fall 2025, so the final release could take around 12 months. So in theory, the next Ghost Recon game could launch sometime in fall 2026. So how do you guys feel about the idea of a new Ghost Recon game?
They make it like Future Soldier, but the rest of that shit suck.
It's got to be a good game. That's all, man. Like I have tried many Ghost Recons and they let me down pretty much every time.
Well, which one?
So,
Which one was the last one you played, Sir Pastor?
I didn't like Wildlands that much.
Well, nobody did. They got like a 70 on Metacritic.
I didn't like the one before that. That was like more
what, the Breakpoint?
futuristic. I don't remember what it was called. It was one that was futuristic.
Might have been that
It's
Shadow Wars. Was it that one?
I think so. The last ones they made come out they just haven't been good.
They were cool as hell on a 360. I remember when those came out on a 360.
I think Future Soldier, whatever it's called, Future something, that was the best one I ever played. The rest of that was trash.
I think Wildlands came out soon after what was it? After the Division. And the Division was so good, nobody was stopping to play the Division to go play Wildlands.
Now, why do you think a Division 3 hasn't been made?
I think they're working on it.
You think so? Yeah, because I gotta tell you, now I like the fact that they are working on a new Ghost Recon, and I'll tell you why. That means they're putting that communist Chinese money freaking to use quickly, bro. They like, hey, listen, we gotta use this, but the Chinese told them they can only put that money they borrowed from them in certain games. Like it can't be, in probably another. What was that game with the cell phone they used to walk around in? That
Watch Dogs.
Yeah, Watch Dogs. The first one was good, but that second one, cans.
No, the second one was decent, but that Legion.
But see, they tried that, but they overstuffed it, Shaq, with the online stuff, and I mean, come on, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, facts, Teddy. Teddy said if Marathon ain't good, Bungie's done. Yeah, they're done. They're done. That's why I said, bro. You guys, I know. Look, we'll get to it later. You guys laugh at the initiative and how they're shut down, bro. Imagine being a company that you paid $3.6 billion for, and they made 2 games in their lifetime, and they're done. Imagine that. Imagine that.
But I'm going back to Ghost Recon real quick, because I am a fan of that series.
You like everything.
Go ahead. Shut up. Wildlands was on point. What they need to do, probably with the new one that's coming out, they need to focus more on that open environment, more like that Division feel, but make it hardcore, of course. Breaking Point was it was a broken mess from gate, and people just was turned off on they was turned off with the mechs and that over the top like text. They had like spider drones and all this other weird stuff in the game. Right now, you got the option of taking that stuff out. The game is a whole lot better than when it released. But go back to Wildlands. They need to do an open beta, man. I'm getting tired of not being able to test these games out. But that's it.
Yeah, well, the problem with the open beta is that's when all the freaking horns come out and everybody tells you how bad the game is. And then they tell you that nobody's there. And then the next thing you know, people are stealing the art for the said game, and then it's a mess. So we know how these betas go. And I got I will not slander Razer anymore because again, see, I told y'all I got either the gift of gab or I'm blessed or whatever, lucky, or if you believe in luck. I told y'all when they told me this keyboard wasn't covered under warranty, I told them I got 25,000 subscribers and I will kill their product every show. And what did they do? They said, hey, they sent me a UPS tag and said, hey, send the old one back and we'll give you a new one. I tell you, all you got to do is threaten people. You see what it is? Yes.
How un-Christ-like of you, Ricky Brown.
That's not Christ-like, bro. You can't sell me garbage and then tell me to freaking take it. Pause.
I didn't know that's option out there.
Suffer loss, Ricky Brown.
Hey, no, forget that. Oh, by the way, my insurance company on my house dropped me today. because apparently Warren Buffett dropped out of some kind of insurance company. Everybody's scared, and I got to find a new insurance company.
You better be scared. Warren Buffett deal.
Yeah. Warren Buffett is out of the house insurance business, so now everybody's scared. Just like when Tencent jumped out of the VR business, what happened to Sony VR 2? I told y'all that was going to happen. Bro, when they said Tencent jumped out of the VR business, I said, yo, Sony's hit with that VR 2. I said, what they going to do? If you got the leader who's got more money in gaming than God, and then they say that something ain't right and they jump out of it, bro, you might need to start packing your bags. Yes. Pack your bags because something about to happen. All right. So anybody else got anything to say on this Ghost Recon? Anything?
Please do an open beta so we can test it out and give it to doubleomellow@gmail.com. Thank you, please.
All right, folks. That's Mellow. What else you got, Levon?
All right, I got this Ace Combat, and it could be making a comeback new game teaser. There was there was like a 30th anniversary celebration tweet, like a day or two ago, and yeah, it turns out we didn't see anything when it comes to Ace Combat for the Bandai Namco showcase, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah.
Now wait a minute. Now this is the flying game, right? Where you're flying the top.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you do realize there's something called Flight Simulator out there, right? And you kind of have the same.
You ain't playing. You ain't doing no combat.
It's combat. You just flying. That's all you're doing.
Don't we have enough war going on right now to go run?
Here you go.
Come on, Rick. Come on.
You just get finished talking about Ghost Recon.
Come on, Rick. We just got done finishing with the Ghost Recon stuff from Ubisoft.
And I had no comment.
Okay. So, anyone excited for the idea, the possibility of a Ace Combat 8?
I've never played Ace Combat, so I can't.
I've never played an Ace Combat game. So
I never played one either, but I
can't really give you a.
Bro, I bought the little, I bought the freaking little stick for it. Pause. For the I believe it might have been for the 360. They gave it away free. I remember Xbox when they started selling digital games.
They came with it once.
Yeah, it was free or something like that. Like Ace Combat was like free if you had Xbox Live. You know how Xbox Live used to always give you a game? Ace Combat was one of those games they gave.
And even then, he didn't sell. No, I'm just no,
you're right. Yeah, no, bro. I was only I always want to be a pilot, so I'm flying around like a freaking coon, with this stupid thing here. So Teddy said Breakpoint had a lot of potential, just poor execution on their end. He said, but Wildlands was good as hell to me.
Wow, it was a fire. Yeah, the co-op was on the point.
How's that Pal World treating you, Mello? Remember you was capping for that game?
I wasn't capping, sir. They just did an update yesterday, I believe.
So how many players does Pal World have now?
I don't care how many players it was. It was a great experience for me. I don't worry about people.
The game was phenomenal.
Yeah, in my household, we had a great time.
Is here. What up, Thriller Ali? How you doing, brother? Hey, listen. Okay, I just know. Now, where's that fuck nigga Trillo? He's the one that. What's that other thing? Biomutant. Wasn't that the game that he was capping for? Yeah.
Biomutant was decent.
Oh man.
Little birdie squirrel.
What just happened? What's going on here?
Somebody got shot. I don't know, but that sounds like a freaking 357. What's going on over there? But I don't know. So Thrillali's here. Teddy's here. King Reaper's here. I'm pretty sure Titus is lurking around here somewhere with that damn frog emoji or GIF, whatever that is. But anyway, all right. So Ace Combat. I don't know.
If they put on PS Plus,
I mean, if you,
which they would.
Bro, I gotta tell you something, man. and bro, I never thought it'll be the day. Well, I didn't know how great PC was. People say, "Oh, you paid $10,000 for a PC? You're stupid." Shut up. You know how cheap these games are on PC, bro. When they have these sales, my God, bro, my library went from like fucking 50 games or something to like 100 and change. You start selling games for $2, bro. I'm sorry.
In a matter of minutes.
Yes. Bro, I put it all in the cart. bro, they be having crazy sales, bro. They're beautiful sales. I think Levon's got like 400 games on Steam or something like that. Now, most of them they're terrible, but he's got them.
I got Witcher 3. I got Witcher 3.
That's one of the reasons why I'm getting the Rogue Ally X, because when they was doing that presentation, they was showing games that was PC release, but it was like the wish list. So with this thing, the Rogue Ally X.
Hold up. I'm so sorry, Mello. I gotta do the super chat. Thank you for the $1 objective from Krypton. Thank you. Please continue.
You did all that for 4 quarters? You gonna cut me off for 4 quarters, my guy?
Hold on. We respect every donation, and we appreciate it, Parker. Parker, what the hell are you doing in the chat? Shouldn't you be on the panel? We got a whole Phil Spencer and Xbox accountable for this drubbing that happened here. We're gonna talk about it. We're slowly but surely we're getting there. All right. So
speaking of Xbox, actually, I got a video from one of the co-founders of Xbox or whatever.
Doesn't mean that you won't change your mind.
This old white lady.
Yeah. Let's watch
Xbox
it.
Showcase. You can see that Xbox has finally landed on a strategy, a plan for the future.
She doesn't look like a gamer to me. She looks like a
the
grandmother.
Xbox Anywhere plan. They're betting.
Oh man, I gotta proud.
She's not very pretty.
Oh man,
That's surprising.
Hard on that.
Expensive to make. It's much easier to slap an Xbox sticker on an existing piece of hardware.
She's actually killing Xbox. Kind of funny,
very little
actually.
effort in comparison.
She said little effort. They just slapped the sticker. Listen to what she's saying, folks.
Why bother innovating in hardware?
There's nothing for her to say.
It's a great message for gamers.
Oh man,
why
Why
doesn't she have any lips?
But that's all it is. It's marketing. It's style, not substance. Just because you say something, it doesn't mean that you can do it. And
Ricky,
it also doesn't
what's
mean
that got
that you
to do
won't
with
change your
anything,
mind.
I'm just asking.
After all, Xbox has been pivoting a lot lately.
Yep, that's me.
Oh man.
And you're probably wondering
look
how
what
I
she
ended up
showed.
here. Well, it's
Man.
Remember when they talked about the importance of
I kinda
high quality
feel bad for y'all
games, but
guys.
then shut down the studio that
Feel
made
bad for
Hi-Fi
who?
Rush?
For
What
what?
about Game Pass? One
Just
of the
feel like y'all are like a
features was
campfire
daily
with no
games.
food.
And now there are tiers that don't
What are
offer
you
the
talking
feature
about?
at all. Last year, Phil expressed
You know what it is? He
$70
just seen
pricing
Jurassic
could feel
Park and he's
manipulative
excited.
to gamers. And now he's on
Oh, no,
charging $80 for downloads too.
Not really, but it could be a good movie, but that's neither here nor there though.
I'm
It's
trying to
about
understand your
Xbox.
point, Ricky Brown.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, Parker.
No, I'm not gonna kill
From my
Xbox.
perspective, the Xbox
As we
strategy has
see,
been
right?
chaotic. So it's hard to
Games,
say exactly what they'll do
come,
next.
some
But
go,
assuming
some
they
don't
stick
come
with
at all.
Xbox
That's
and
cool.
It's really
But
left me
look at the
wondering,
overall bigger picture with
will
the
the
games that
latest
are
announcement
coming. So
drive
look
more
at that
gamers
though.
to Game
Right?
Pass?
Look
Will
at the
they be
glass
able to
being
convince
half full.
gamers that the Xbox ROG
know?
Ally is a good
guess.
idea? And what is going to happen with the hardware?
I mean, I don't believe picking a person when they're down, right?
Xbox team.
Or how Ricky said, I don't believe in bringing the
Microsoft just announced they're coming.
The pain!
I mean, how you gonna kick them when they down when they the only ones breaking games? So, I mean, I'm not gonna do that shit. I don't look for stuff like that,
on
though.
Crimson Skies when the console
stuff,
talk
right?
started.
Long as they have been giving you games, right, Rick? So you can tote your hat on that.
And was taking a
But
serious
we'll
You know,
get there.
that still is a person's opinion. Does it make it right or wrong? Right?
Actually, Levon, are we moving to that now? Do you have an article?
You might well. We might as well.
Yeah, we might as well.
PlayStation and the games worked. They didn't have to worry about why that piece of software on their
What's going
Windows
on back
system
here?
didn't play nice with the other piece of
Levon
software, and why
What he did? He forgot to take his caffeine?
or that
That's
they
all.
needed an update.
Okay, well, there you go. There you go.
This is how you share your games on PC.
All right, so let's talk about it here. Levon, you got any articles or anything that we're gonna? Well, he fucking definitely. What the? You know what?
Maybe his internet cut out, bro. I'm pretty. It ain't like Levon to leave. His internet or something must have cut out.
Well, you want to get some
No, he on
graham
deafen.
crackers or something?
He on deafen.
He's deafened.
Oh man,
Oh.
Rick, what was going? Oh man,
He told you he had to go do something, but he never really left.
Yeah, he
So
did.
did
Yeah,
whatever
he
had
ain't
to
never
do.
leave.
I mean, somebody have somebody take a donation for some prune juice for him or something. I don't know.
You go kicking people while they down, Parker. When you just said you'll do that.
Oh man, he need to take some break. What type of break did he take? He got, I mean.
But he just say he'll kick people when he down. Then 2
I
minutes
know,
later,
yeah.
you go kicking down Levon because he ain't here.
I mean, what's the next topic? I don't know what's the next topic. Rick
Exactly. That's fucking brutal. All right, so
talking about he need prune juice and caffeine and stuff. Right?
Yeah, bro. He take those breaks though. I don't know if he's using the bathroom.
See, you ain't say that, bro.
You
on the last topic.
Yeah, we on the last topic.
Everwild and Perfect Dark. Yeah, that's the last topic.
All right,
so
Everwild
and Perfect Dark getting canceled.
Well, before we get to that, there's something more important. It says Microsoft began its fiscal year Wednesday, laying off thousands of employees, expanding one of the largest runs of layoffs in the company's history. Bro, I ain't never seen 9,000 people laid off in my life at one time, unless the company just picked up and went to like Germany or something. Like, that's huge. So, in an ongoing effort, hold on, let's read the article, Mr. Interrupter from Krypton. So in an ongoing effort to trim its workforce, AI, Microsoft said as much as 4% or roughly 9,000 of the company's employees could be affected by Wednesday's layoffs. In Washington, 830 employees were let go, according to a regulatory filing Wednesday. Jesus Christ. The move follows 2 waves of layoffs in May and June. Oh my God. We saw Microsoft let go more than 6,000 employees, almost 2,300 of whom were based in Washington. Since May, the company has laid off over 15,000 employees company-wide and more than 3,100 in Washington. During May's rounds of layoffs, Microsoft emphasized that it wanted to flatten management layers, but data from Washington State showed only about 17% of those cuts in Redmond were Microsoft's in its headquarters, were designated as managers. Through every round of layoffs since May, Microsoft has emphasized that the cuts aren't performance related. No, of course not. You look at your stock, it's rising. So, they get bigger and they start cutting. People are going to have to work harder. This is crazy. Ain't no cap for this shit. If you guys going to sit here and cap the Roses of the world, the Mellows, the Big Shack, you guys that love Microsoft and all of that stuff, if y'all cap for these dudes laying people off, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. There's nothing you can say to justify this, because it's not just 9,000. Now it's like 15,000. Like, this is insane, bro. If you're going to lay people off, then maybe we need to back another company that's hiring Americans and letting people have jobs out here rather than kicking them the hell out. You knew that this AI stuff was going to be dangerous. It was definitely going to be dangerous. It was going to replace people. Like, it's insane, bro. And not only does it hurt the it hurt those people's pocketbooks, it hurts their wallet. It also hurts the economy. They got to pay unemployment to 15,000 people for at least 6 months. That is brutal.
Ricky Brown.
This is the beginning.
Ricky Brown.
This is the beginning.
That's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying it's a good thing, Ricky Brown. But this is how technology works. It happened with the industrial age in manufacturing. And unfortunately, it's happening now because of AI.
Yeah, it happened. Now, I can speak for myself and for what I do for a living.
And you're a procurement manager, so you know how manufacturing and print impact people's jobs.
Actually, I'm a supply chain manager.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. The procurement manager reports to me. So, me being...
Oh, that's now. So you updated.
I do want to say something.
So, he reports to me. But hold on, Parker. I'll get right to it. I experienced layoffs from my company, but that was because they went automated with machinery instead of using regular hands, because machines don't need to take a break. Machines don't need to be fed. So, yeah, that's different. But, look, is there any job going to be safe in this world? No. Now, hell, you're going to need at least a 4-year college degree for somebody to even look at your resume coming out of college, because they want experience. Everybody that's 30 and up right now, you probably don't need a college degree to get a decent job. But going forward, everybody else, you're gonna need.
Yeah. I just watched a robot cut somebody hair perfectly.
You know what? Now, Rick. Now I gotta come at you though, Rick.
And try if you want to get stomped out. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I want to show. I mean, the energy feels so damn. I need to liven up a bit.
Well, maybe you weren't here in the beginning because you always come late. The energy is coming. The pain is coming. The energy is there because
So like we had like the wake or something.
No,
like
what? We about to hang?
I mean, it's about the energy though, right?
We gonna hang Phil Spencer from a tree. Well, I am. I don't know how Mello is. You know,
no, I'm not gonna hang him for a tree.
Yeah,
they gave me what's so. Listen,
I am.
I'm not gonna do
hold
that.
on. Reason why
I am gonna say it's not good, but I'm not gonna hang the dude from a tree.
But you gotta look at the whole picture.
And you and Ricky Brown, you was the main one saying after the Activision purchase,
they're gonna have layoffs.
Layoffs were coming. You were saying that right away.
Exactly. But here's what I was saying.
But
you don't need 2 accountants, right? You don't need 2 procurement managers. That's what I was talking about. Those kind of layoffs.
That's true. That's true.
These layoffs aren't related to ABK. These layoffs here is about a company that's going to start using AI and start using more AI to put people out of work. The only good thing I saw out of this was they said they were going to try to help them get back into the workforce. Well, if that's the case, you shouldn't have let them go in the first place. Here's my problem with Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer makes millions of dollars a year. That's a fact. So you telling me he couldn't take a pay cut to help some of these people stay on? I know he can because I've done it. And I'm only at 6 figures. This nigga's at 8. And I let my Christmas bonus go. So people that was cutting cheese in the back can have $500 in their pocket to put Christmas under a damn Christmas tree.
Can I ask you a question, Ricky Brown?
Yeah.
If it's 9,000 people got laid off.
No, I'm talking about the Xbox division. That's not this is 9,000 across all of Microsoft. Okay. I'm talking about the game division that bastardized development team initiative that he created. And he kept going around telling us that the game was fine, that he plays it every night. He was saying that. So he should cut his salary to keep those people on board and finish that game. But no, Phil went and handpicked all these puppets and he couldn't control them. They were leaving. Guys were going back to Sony. Guys were going back to hell. They wanted to be anywhere but the initiative. So what did he do? He went and got the old school dudes from Crystal Dynamics and they had to start all the way over because it went from being Perfect Dark to being a damn Tomb Raider clone. That's what happened. That's what they was going to do. And for 7 years, I was told this was a quadruple A studio. 7 years! Nothing! How's that possible?
Yeah, that one's a big L.
Bro, man, the billion, there's millions. It might be billions. Because think about this. How many people were on that staff? 7 years you had to pay them. You had to give them benefits. Did you not? That's not it. They brought in another team to help them. That couldn't have been cheap either. And then for the game just to get shelled and say, well, you know, it's not coming out. Bro, that is horrible. That dude should burn for that. That was his baby. Matter of fact, when he took over, that was one of the first things he did. He said, he got up there with his fat ass.
It was not. It was
one of them. And he said, I'm going to start with a quadruple A. And he went, and this is what they should have been doing from the beginning. Instead of buying all these whatever, you get the talent. You don't need to buy, so you can get the talent. He went out shopping for talent, and they have nothing to show for it. That is an L. That is a. You mean with that studio? They have nothing to show for it. Nothing. That was bad. I think this is. I got to tell you, I don't know what's worse. The Initiative and Perfect Dark or Concord and Firewalk? I guess Concord will be worse. Not really. At least they released the damn game. They were able to ship a game. You can say it was trash. You can say it was cans. But at least they released the damn game. They did. I'm getting an echo from somebody. They released the game. Initiative. 7 years. Nothing. 7 years. Imagine, I want to put this in perspective. Imagine having a 7-year card note for those with bad credit, and you got to pay on this card for 7 years, and you make your last payment, and they tell you, hey, this car ain't paid off yet. We gonna have to repo this. That's gonna hurt your feelings, bro. I'm sorry. That's gonna hurt your feelings. I mean, you're telling me that this company that prints money could not find a way for that game to be released and let these people get their residuals or whatever it is that they put into this game. That is crazy, bro. That's unforgivable. I'm sorry.
Yeah. How you feel about this play, Rosie?
What do you mean? How do I feel about it? It's layoffs. Like I don't feel good about it, bro.
No, I never feel good about layoffs. I'm talking about the game.
I mean, what you asking me for? Like I was going to support it.
I mean, no. I'm just saying how you feel about the game not being there, being kaput.
I mean, I wanted to play Perfect Dark, so I'm disappointed about it. And that studio that was supposed to be quadruple A didn't do anything. You know, so I mean, there's nothing to say. There's really nothing to say, bro. All right. Studio you said was supposed to make quadruple A games, which is never before seen apparently in the space. Didn't put out a single game.
Not a single one, bro.
So
that is.
I mean,
I don't. Have you ever seen that before? And I think the reason why we're giving this game pushback because they asked the Jabroni how the game was doing. He said fine. He said, "Oh, I'm playing Perfect Dark every night before I go to bed." I'm like, what?
That's he was playing the old Nintendo one. I guess.
He playing that alpha. I went over there and played it a little bit. He playing the alpha.
Okay.
All right. The statement Phil said he plays Perfect Dark every night is not accurate. That's what they tell you because he can't. Yeah, he said, Phil Spencer, man.
He plays perfect in the dark. You know, he said only no lights on. I guess.
Phil Spencer has mentioned his enthusiasm for the game, highlighting its innovative features and legacy. He also expressed excitement about the upcoming reboot of the series. Wow.
Yeah, y'all doing too much.
Hey, but rejoice on the games that
I'm not surprised by him. Not at all. Not surprised by that one. Not.
What, did y'all doing too much?
Yeah, I'm not surprised by you in your comments.
Okay.
Not at all.
At least I know that y'all doing too much.
Y'all doing too
y'all
much.
gonna get off Uncle Phil back, nigga. Phil been putting out games.
They still got a game plan though. You know what I'm saying? Like they got a game plan.
This thing on pads.
They got games coming out, bro.
No, but here's the thing, though.
Oh my god! If this was PlayStation, oh my god, you fuck niggas will be up here doing back fucking flips. You guys, oh my god!
No, but I'm gonna say this though. You gotta look at everything. So yeah, those games not coming out, but they have been giving you a lot of high quality games, especially in the service, and games they got coming next year as well. So
I don't want to hear that.
So you gotta look at the whole.
I don't want to hear that.
Take off a little smidgen off the batting average, but you're still hitting a pretty good batting average.
Hold on. You're saving money. You're saving money in R&D because you're not even making your own hardware anymore. All right, so don't give me that shit.
What are you talking about?
Man, they just slapping Xbox stickers on shit. They ain't got no goddamn hardware.
No,
brother, here you go. All right, sounding ignorant and uninformed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, why don't you tell it? Hey, hold on. Why don't you tell it to the 9,000 motherfuckers that just got laid off? Say
they return heel.
What has that got to? Those two things have nothing to do with each other.
The hell it doesn't. It has exactly. They're drinking the same water fountain. Man,
we got games, bro.
You niggas are really coons. Holy
shit. You forgot the game, man?
No, we're not.
You know what? Folks, I never said this before in my life. Next Gen 720 was right. You motherfuckers. You
got Black Ops 7.
Y'all niggas. Y'all shot.
Business, bro.
Hold on. I gotta call up Z right now and apologize. I gotta apologize. I gotta call Z up. I'm sorry. Listen, I told him he was crazy. He was having all those funerals and shit.
Hey, mute your mic while you call him so I can go and get this off real quick.
Yeah, go ahead and get this coonery off. Go ahead.
All right, first of all, it sucks when people lose their job. It's just what it is. That's something that everybody ain't trying to do. One, I've said this from jump with Microsoft. We are hyper focused on the wrong situation. Microsoft attention on AI is pushing a lot of people out, and it's coming faster than what most people think or expected. Two, that 9,000 to 6,000 people wasn't all coming from the gaming division.
3% of it was
Microsoft as the whole. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, I think, Phil, I'm gonna put it like this. we give Phil all of this power that he got control of what game's going to be released and not. Clearly, that's not the case because he was a complete fan of this game. He fanboyed out about it.
Yes, he did.
And at the end of the day, it got canceled.
So, Mel, hold on. I want to ask you a question.
Let me finish.
So he couldn't give up. Before I call Z, I got to talk to you because you cooning the most. You telling me that this man couldn't give up his salary, at least half of his salary, to keep those people on deck? You told me that couldn't happen.
You said he couldn't sacrifice his money to keep them on.
Yes, that's his project. He handpicked that whole thing. That's all him.
Absolutely not. The reason being is because of this. You're not finna stop this train wreck because what took over 15, maybe 10, almost 20 some people to develop a video game in certain areas, even with just designing levels and rooms and everything, it's taking a minimum of 5 and under to do. So of course jobs is going to be cut. Now again, do I approve of the stuff? No. My main concern is how fast Microsoft is with this AI because they got a heavy investment in open AI. So they want the success for AI because of the turnaround, the money that's going to come in. So they're cutting jobs. It sucks. Absolutely. Do I think Perfect Dark was done to an extent where Phil Spencer was saying he was enjoying the game? Yes. But clearly he doesn't have no power over that. And it showed.
So you told me the ballhead nigga is really running things.
It ain't just it just ain't Phil Spencer in Microsoft. It's Satya Nadella. It's all of them. It's the higher ups. He got the answer to somebody else's just as well as Sarah Bond got the answer.
You know, I don't see the guy with the beard no more around here. Did they dump him? The guy with the beard that was making the console? I don't see him anymore.
I wouldn't be surprised he was gone. I don't know him. Who you talking about? I think I know who you talking about, but I don't know his name. I wouldn't be surprised that he's not gone because how they're moving with OpenAI is alarming. It's very alarming. And I'm not gonna do the tit for tat because we clearly seen Sony done cancel games left and right. Nintendo done probably cancel some games too. We just don't mention them. It comes and it goes.
Jason Ronald, that's his name. Jason Ronald. Is he there?
Okay. But when I find out that they got over 40-some games in the tuck, and they got over 40-some games that's going to be released that's in the tuck, I'm not concerned right now. It ain't that serious. Perfect Dark was the last. When was the last time y'all played Perfect Dark?
Back on the 360?
25 years ago?
I never played it.
So there you have it. Majority of the people that's running around here is old as dirt, and they can remember Perfect Dark. The younger artists, they was in somebody's nutsack. They don't even know what a Perfect Dark is.
Jason Ronald's been in Microsoft for 19 years.
And he gonna stay there because he's the head dude for hardware.
Yeah, like what Mel said. They've been giving a lot of games for their customer fan base to play. So being that Perfect Dark got canceled and Everwild and some MMO, whatever. But look at the bigger picture and the consistency of the games that have been coming, right? So I'm not gonna completely crucify them over the Perfect Dark because we're gonna get the Gears E8 next year, right? So so let's keep an open mind. Look at everything that and just those two games, whatever, that got canceled. Let's take away from what they have been doing for these past years, last 5 years. So you can't do that, Rick. So overall and stuff, they have been giving you quality games to play at a fraction of the price that you would pay.
I also want to put this out there. Also. Because I want to keep the same energy like I had for Last of Us Factions when Bungie did what they did. Microsoft should have put their game into the preview program and allowed the fans to judge if they wanted to have Perfect Dark or not. I got to give them the same slack. I got to give them the same slack.
I don't think you can do that. Because now again, I'm about to say with Redfall, bro, that was on his watch. That was on his watch too. So hold on a second. So Redfall gets released, but you cancel Perfect Dark?
I think it depends on how far along Redfall was. Redfall was probably completed before the deal was even done.
Perfect Dark's been in development for 7 years.
It probably still wasn't done. We don't know.
Still not done. It said, bro, it don't take 7 years to make them goddamn Elder Scroll games, and those shits are goaties.
Yeah, that's that. But this is a total different situation. We talking about what they were doing, a remake or a remaster of a 25-year-old game, and ain't no telling how many hands was on deck for it. We don't know.
We don't know.
Give us a level or two to play in the preview program and allow the fans to say, hey, we want this game and we don't. That's what they should have done. Instead of just canceling it out completely.
Yeah, so it had to be in a really bad state
they had 56
for it
people.
not to be.
56 people working on it. 56 people.
So sometimes those are breaks, man. Sometimes you got to make those tough decisions, though. Right?
Founded in June of 2018, defunct July 2nd, 2025. Santa Monica.
Yeah.
Man. So I remember David Gallagher. Isn't he the guy that fucking bounced? Fire his ass, too.
But to be fair, though, Perfect Dark wasn't as big as a game. What you look at the situation with the Last of Us being like canceled, whatever, right? And stuff. So
Perfect Dark never got off the ground.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So and I don't think it's necessarily the same because like it has a much more hardcore fan base. Obviously, The Last of Us, and they wanted probably could have like wanted to check that out and stuff like that. But yeah, but like I just look at overall Microsoft and giving a fan base the game, so just chuck it up. Okay, it wasn't ready, and and look for the games that's coming out next year though. That's gonna be in service. So I won't kill them too bad because they have been giving out of games though, so you can't really like put the sledgehammer down on them.
Casualties Awards.
Yeah, Casualty Awards. And like in all businesses, though, you gonna get these layoffs. I'm not capping for layoffs, but like in all business, you gonna see layoffs across the board. You haven't seen layoffs across the board in the gaming industry, though. And so
everywhere.
Shout out to KC Buffet. He said, "I'm gonna be honest. Perfect Dark. Hold on. We gotta do this.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, he said, "I'm gonna be honest. Perfect Dark didn't look that good. Nothing of value lost." That is from KFC Buffet. Yeah, Buffet. Yeah, they used to have KC buffets back in the day, bro. They don't do that no more. But go ahead, Rose. I'm
gonna say this, all right. It's a lot of layoffs, all right, compared to what Sony has done, and that's because they have way more employees. However, there was not this big of a deal made when Sony was laying off people.
You know why?
There was not this big of a deal made when they canceled 10 live service games. There was not this big of a deal made when Concord came out and they wasted all the money. I don't know if it's because they gave people their money back and that's why they weren't making a big deal about it. Who knows? But they have blown through money, canceled many games. They bought a company that has been no return on investment. And somehow, as far as I can tell, nobody's been laid off at that company. All right. It's other companies.
No, they did. They remember they laid
studios.
But hold on, they laid off people from Bungie. And remember, they didn't get their severance because they had stock in the company.
That's right. They did do that. That's correct. They did do that.
They laid them off.
So nobody was making doom and gloom about Jim Ryan and whoever else is at Sony.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because Sony's not $1 trillion company, Rose. They're not. That's why.
Okay, you can say they're $1 trillion company. Oh, they're not $1 trillion company. I don't care. The reason I don't care is because in both cases, people are getting laid off. People want to say, when people say $1 trillion company, that's based on public value in the stock market.
Yes.
That's not, I have $1 trillion cash on hand.
They do not.
So people have to stop thinking that, you have trillions of dollars just sitting around. No. Number two, they manage they do. They manage a cloud infrastructure. Their cost per day
is crazy.
Far outseeds what Sony's cost per day. They're two completely different businesses. Sony don't own a single thing, as far as I know, that has anything to do with internet infrastructure. And when you're dealing with internet infrastructure, you are being billed by the microsecond at that point. All right. So in terms of, so as far as I'm concerned, I don't like layoffs. That's why I never use it when we doing the little console war stuff. All right. I might say they laying off. They might say they cancel 10 games. They do got some financial trouble over there at Sony. However, all I'm trying to say is this. It's being blown out of proportion as usual because it's Microsoft. Just say layoffs are bad, call it a day. Trying to say Phil Spencer should be slammed and burned, etc. When this is a dude who took Xbox out of the mud, gave y'all the greatest value in gaming history. And everybody wants to just throw him under the bus.
He gave them the best value in gaming, but at the expense of cannibalizing the freaking hardware. That is a fact.
How is it at the expense of cannibalizing the hardware?
Yeah, because nobody needs an Xbox. Because of Phil's little tagline.
That wasn't because of Phil's tagline. That's because when they were
on PC, you can play it. You can get it on PC, bro. Come on, man,
brother. Are you paying, brother? They lost the generation where everybody was building their attachment to an
library.
Yes, that was the problem. That was not his fault. That was Don Matrix's fault and all the messaging that came out of the Xbox One prior to release, and that's why the pre-orders were 3.6 million to like 700,000 right out the gate. They lost it before a single piece of hardware hit anybody's living room. That generation was lost.
So from what I got from you,
hold on.
A bunch of studios.
Hold on. Okay, we can get to that. That's what cost them why their sales are so bad now, because there's no attachment to their ecosystem.
So it has nothing to do with that $700 price tag?
No.
What's $700 price tag? This was well before the price tag.
But that doesn't help.
This is well before that. All right, number one. Hold on.
Literally when they presented the box on the showcase.
Exactly. Yes, what are you talking about?
Wow.
This is long before any of that.
Did you forget, if you can't afford it, don't want an Xbox One, we got a console for you, which is a 360. He did that the presentation. What are you talking about?
That was Don Matrix. That's why they got so. Maybe you wasn't around, Ricky Brown. That's why Xbox lost the last generation, because Don Matrix came out there
lost the last generation. TV. But they lost the last generation because they were ahead of their time. They were about downloading digital games. And they were going to put GameStop out of business. Yes, when you walked into a GameStop, they pushed the PS4 in your face because Microsoft scared the living hell out of everybody when they started telling, hey, you can buy games through the freaking Microsoft store, download them that way, no more midnight releases, you can buy them there. When they started talking that shit, that's when freaking GameStop hits their wagon.
That's not why. No, that's not why. What happened was their messaging. They said you could. This is what they said. Instead of them explaining the benefit, they went at the habits that most gamers had. You cannot sell your used games to GameStop. That's the wording that should have never come out of their mouth. Number one. Number two, they came out and showed the Xbox One as this cable box. They had a whole presentation where they spent most of the time talking about the TV benefits to a gaming audience. That was problem two. Number three, this console will not work unless the Kinect is bundled in. That's why it's $500. Number four, you need a 24-hour online check in order to play your digital game. Then, in response to the criticism of that online check, this dude, Donnie Matrix, got up and said, well, if the internet's problem for you, we have a console for you called the Xbox 360. All that stuff happened before pre-orders even went live, all right? And when pre-orders did, they got demolished. It was 3.6 million to like 700,000 after like 3 days. And that is the generation where people built their attachments to an ecosystem, right? That's why they were in the position they were in. That's what Phil was handed to in 2000 when he took over. All right, he had to get them out of that mud.
Now this is Phil's.
That's the whole context here for why they are where they are today. I'm not talking about the layoffs. The layoffs are a little bit separate from that. But you wonder why they went PC route? This is why. All right,
because of the uphill battle that they had to do because
exactly.
of the live.
That's why.
And all
Why
it
did they?
did
And you
was
and hold on. And
it
we
dug
just
a
got
bigger
finished talking
hole.
about.
It didn't
Hold
help.
on. This dude has done what he could to keep this Xbox afloat. He said, okay, people not buying our console. We need to sell more software. We're taking the PC. Okay, people still not buying our consoles more. We need to sell more software. We're taking the PlayStation. What else is this dude supposed to do? All right. Instead of sitting there and saying, well, nobody's buying our console, I'm just going to sit here and not figure out more ways to make money and keep people's jobs. He is trying to make moves. I'm not excusing him for the layoffs, but let's not sit around here and act like Phil is just sitting around twiddling his thumbs and watching the money just go out the back door. All right. That's not what he's doing.
Now, that's what y'all
saw. Don't forget Satya Nadella. Don't forget Satya Nadella wanted to close down Microsoft also.
He should have.
He didn't even want to
Xbox. He wanted to. Exactly.
He should have just done it.
He
should have just done it. They're a shell of themselves. Man, fuck it. Yeah, listen, y'all want to cap for that shit? Go ahead, brother. I mean,
I'm not capping. I'm just adding context. That's it,
bro. If they didn't have Game Pass, you niggas would be out here saying burn this shit down. That's the only thing that's making y'all niggas still like this shit is Game Pass.
Brother, we always sit here and say why we supporting $1 trillion companies. Yes, we cap back and forth in these gaming streets, but ain't nobody out here complaining about having Game Pass.
No.
Everybody say every single person on Twitter right now throwing an uproar, talking about Phil Spencer. Oh, look at this nasty work while all this stuff is being announced. He's sitting here playing a game on Xbox, blah, blah, blah. I guarantee you every single one of them dudes 2.5 hours later went to their PC, hit that X on the Xbox button with the X Cloud like my boy Vaughn, and booted up some Game Pass.
Well, that I don't agree with. Like them killing him on playing a game. Why people got laid off, bro? When people got laid off from my job, I didn't stop living. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but here's also
I know
the thing.
In my heart that I did what I could for the staff. You know, I took pay cuts from Christmas bonuses, what have you. I said, yeah, it's okay to do that, bro. I was supposed to get 10% of my salary for Christmas bonus, and I didn't take it just so those people could have it.
I get that, but you know what this is the case. These dudes, everybody that got laid off, they knew before these reports came out. They all knew before these reports.
I would believe that. I would believe that.
Last week, y'all was talking about this.
Hold on. If they didn't know, there's no reason why we would have been hearing all these leaks from Tom Warren and all these other people for like 2 to 3 weeks by now.
They knew before. They knew themselves before the freaking the X. I'm sorry,
internet,
the X streets. Yeah, the internet guy. They know that. All I'm saying is. And I look, Microsoft lay off people, fine. Whatever. Like you said, it happens. All I'm saying is, specifically, I got my eyes on the initiative because that's what he made a big deal about. He called it a quadruple A studio. He talked about he was playing it at night. He should have let some of his money go to let that game get finished. That's what I'm saying. He picked that. And that lets me know that this stuff came from above him. Because that's the last thing he would have wanted to get smoked was 7 years in that damn initiative making Perfect Dark to just have nothing for it. Satya came down and said, yo, we're done. We're done. Satya said, oh, we're done here. 7 years and you got nothing to show me? No, it's over. It's over.
I can agree with that, but like you said before, and you turned to, only part I can't agree with is if Satya Nadella would have just went on and just killed Xbox. I don't agree with that one because look at what's happening with Phil Spencer doing what he doing and bringing back mobile games. The Satya Nadella came out and said, "I wish I would have never shut down the mobile division, and we would have continued it.
I always say
it probably would have been successful."
I always say this though, Mello. If something dies, something else is going to be reborn. Maybe if Xbox goes away, maybe Stadia becomes a big thing. Or whatever. If something else is always out there. Maybe Valve finally does release that console that everybody thought they got no reason to release it now. But I'm just saying, like, you never know what happened. We didn't know what was going to happen when Sega died. We was like, man, what's going to take the place? It was Xbox. Xbox came through after Sega died. When something dies, something else is born. Maybe we need to be like, you know what? Hey, let's see if there's better options out there. You know, it can happen. Now, the cat's already out of the bag. The exclusivity stuff's not going to work anymore. That stuff is not going to make you go.
Exclusivity never worked.
It worked. It worked in the 90s and the early 2000s.
It worked for the time being. But in 2025,
no, that doesn't
the
work.
audience don't care about that.
That doesn't work. But the people that are killing the exclusivity is PC. PC is just listen. PC is the way to go. But that's a topic for another show. And can people stop saying that PC? Oh, you got to download this, or you got that stuff. Listen, they got to stop that. Listen, I too didn't want to be a PC gamer because I thought about all of that stuff and what if it freaking it fails and the game, bro. That happens to me on console sometimes. Games have gotten stuck with too much stuff going on around. So games like Doom, game freeze all the time.
Nah, I don't know about that, Rick. I can go off of basic experience. I played. It was joined. What was that game? Helldivers. Helldivers 2 was having a wonderful time. I haven't been able to boot that game up because I've been getting a blue screen since the last time we played. Off that PC. The PC can run the game perfectly fine. No problem. I ain't do no crazy update. I tried to boot that game up. Probably
what game was this again, Miller? What game was this?
Helldivers 2. After remember when we was playing?
But some of those got
a week after that. It was literally a week after us playing that. I tried to boot it back up. I got a blue screen, as well as with my Grand Theft Auto
on PC.
So on the PC, I promise you, I'm not BSing you.
What card do you have? What card? What graphics card?
I think it's like a 30. I think it was a TI 3080 or something like that.
So it's in the video.
I ain't got it in front of me right now to tell you exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. You got to look out some of those.
But I'm just saying the game was booting up perfectly fine. I didn't have no issues once it released. We played the game. I tried to come back a week afterwards. I'm in the blue screen. So I'm just saying. Console has its perks. Do it have is it great? No. Technology is man-made. Ain't nothing perfect. But it's hard to have that sell point with PC with a certain consumers.
Bro,
I just say that much.
You don't have to pay for online. But hold on, Melo, you don't.
No. It got its perks.
Bro,
it got its perks. I'm not knocking
the biggest perks of all is the sales that they have on these games.
Yeah. It got its perks. I'm telling you, it do. Like I just told you. One of the big highlights from that showcase, that wish list, I saw a couple games, and I'm like, damn, he's on PC wish list. But guess what? If I get the Rogue Ally, I get access to it, right? And I'm moving around too much right now for me to be sitting around lugging a PC around with me. So it makes sense for me.
Well, now that's the one plus.
With cross-play and cross-progression going on, it doesn't even matter about console exclusives anymore at that point.
No, it doesn't. But the Rogue Ally, all that handheld stuff, that to me, that like if I go on one of them 12-day cruises and I got my shit in the cloud and I'm playing the game, that'll work for me. Other than that, I'm home every day, bro. So
I'm barely home, so I work a lot. So it works in my favor, especially when I start buying them games. Like you said, I think I got Red Dead Redemption for like $10 or something like that.
They got part 2 for PC, $14. Bro, they had freaking man, bro. I went and started playing Jurassic World Evolution again. They had it for like $1.99. I said, oh man, I had this on Xbox. Got all the achievements, but it's cool on PC. When you see how with the water reflections, oh man, that's a beautiful game. But hey, I got nothing left, man. Look, it's a shame. Look, man. Look, nobody cares about Everwild. I don't even think we mentioned it. That game didn't look like it was going to be much of anything anyway. But
I don't know.
Hey, I don't care about that. But Perfect Dark, you got our hopes high. You gave us a lap dance, invited us up to the house, and then when we got there, key wouldn't work, and the boyfriend was sitting on the couch waiting, like, yo, what happened here? Oh, that's what I'm saying. That part there, that's an L. Out of all the L's. To me, the biggest L is Perfect Dark.
It's the initiative. Yep, it is.
That's a super.
Because I think all the other studios that got announced at that time, they've all put out games.
Yeah, that is an L. Think about this. The initiative was brought up in 2018, right?
18. Yep.
18.
It was the fifth studio of the four, other the four, and the other four they purchased.
All right, look at the guys that made Spider-Man. how many games they put out since then compared to what the initiative has done, which is nothing.
Hey, Rose.
What's up, bro?
Hey man, I know you
Bullshit
love that
Bond's
word
here.
smoke. I know you love that word smoke and mirrors, man. How you feel about that Perfect Dark gameplay was fake? Wasn't an actual game.
Is that confirmed?
Yeah, somebody I forgot who. One of
I
devs
need to
posted.
know who
Yeah.
confirmed it. All right, because you posted something earlier about Phil Spencer
Oh,
possibly
that was
retiring.
a mistake, but a lot of people was posting that. A lot of people was posting that though.
All right, so I need to know if
What
it's
was it?
Yeah, that was they saying that was
if it was
they saying
smoke
that
and
was
mirrors, that's
what was
a
it?
L. That's a big problem.
You know why that's an L?
What was posted?
You know why that's gonna be real bad for Xbox? Because now everybody gonna question every game they show that's full out now. Is that actually the game?
I mean, that's fine.
Hey, I know you let that word smoking. I know you let that word.
Hey.
I know you let that word smoking mirrors.
If they spent, what would it have been by that time? It would have been 5 years since when they showed that game in 2024 was when they finally showed it.
No, they announced it in 2019.
No. But the initiative. Hold on, I know that. I'm talking about the initiative because the initiative been around since 2018. So if it's 6 years and what they showed was fake gameplay, they need to get let go. Right? They should have never showed it.
That picture,
so they need to get let go.
Picture funny as hell though. When they got Phil Spencer playing that motherfucker, that shit funny as hell.
He probably was playing a real game.
That man was playing a blank screen, man. That shit was a picture,
there you
man. He wasn't playing nothing with that fucking screen.
Oh man, bro! And they just they asked him not too long ago. He said the game was doing fine. Fuck, bro. Where's Contraband? Remember, we haven't seen that in a while.
That game not coming out. That should have gotten up. That shit got announced in 2020.
Yeah.
You ain't see one screenshot from that shit.
Nothing. It was supposed to be like a co-op game. Out. Yeah. Look at that Contraband.
Hey, turn it down, son. Turn it down.
Hey, shout out to Nico. Nico said the Xbox the shit. I ain't running it, man. Go ahead and pay $900 for the handheld.
Oh man.
In the console.
I'm spending $900. You talking about?
I'm waiting for the Steam.
Hey, don't speak too loud. They already canceled. They already canceled one handheld. Let's not get another one canceled. So.
You know what motherfuckers joking talking about Wolverine got canceled?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Right now, where is it? Hold on. That is a good joke. Where is Wolverine?
I don't think they announced that too early. I think they announced it exactly when they started development.
Sony never does that. When they show some shit,
they did.
Bro, how long ago has that been?
You know, they announced Last of Us 2 like 4 years before it actually came out.
But they had nothing for Wolverine, no game. All I saw was some alpha they stole with him running around sniffing. Bro, that might. Hey man, that might get freaking. That might get.
Nah, it won't. The game done. They're just basically working on anything else. Story and shit done. Voice acting done. Shit done. That shit right.
Who's doing Wolverine's voice?
I don't know the actor name. He's not a popular actor.
Why hasn't it come out yet, though?
I think that leak. I think that big ass leak they had.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
That source code getting leaked
for some reason.
That's gonna be a man. What is? But now they've been working on Wolverine since. Doesn't say here.
2021. That's when they announced it.
2021. All right, so 2021. Clock's ticking. We're 4 years in. Perfect Dark, 7 years, nothing.
No, that's when they got announced. I don't mean that's how long they've been working on it. It could have been longer.
Usually you work on it longer before it gets announced. You know, when people having a gender reveal for their baby, baby wasn't just made then. You know what I'm saying? I was laying pipe months before.
Brother. Just mute it, bro. All right.
So, hey, listen, man. As you can see, I'm playing it.
I think Wolverine be fine. I don't think Sony gonna let that get canceled.
Well, they can. They got to deal with Marvel, so no way.
They already paid the licensing fee. So, but how now? Why would the leak push the game back? That I don't understand.
Because it's a massive IP leak, source code, everything. Like there's people out there building playable versions of that game right now in the pirate scene because of that leak. Like they probably feel like they got to go a whole different direction with the game.
I don't think
because so much of it leaked.
That'll set you back 5 years. You can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hey, listen, I want to thank everybody that came out today. It's 9:42. I enjoyed this show. I found out a lot about some of these Xbox guys, boy. Phil Spencer can do no wrong.
There you go.
I'm surprised that these guys. I bet you, man. You know what? I ain't even gonna say that. I'm a little disappointed in some people. And
It was what calms them their heart, man. You can't. Phil's a nice guy. He didn't do nothing.
And I can't believe this, bro. These dudes was cooning and capping for Phil Spencer. Won't hold him accountable to this initiative. Quadruple A studio, 7 years, no game.
But man got a nice jacket, bro.
But hold on, man. But we sat here and killed Concord for releasing a game. And yeah, okay, it got called back. All right, cool. But at least they released a game. These niggas here for 7 years. Different art directors, different plot directors, guys going back to Sony, people leaving and coming back. The guy that just left Wolverine went to go work on this game. And now he's out of work.
I mean, Everwild was not surprising.
Oh, that game sucks.
At some point, I knew like, they should have just pulled the plug way back then, because it's been like 5 years, like since Everwild was announced, and they was never able to do anything with it. I feel like that went on way too long. It should have been canned. The one that surprised the one that surprised me the most was Perfect Dark, because I could have sworn they showed a gameplay. Oh, am I tweaking or
no? You're not. But listen,
bro, whatever they showed, you mean for
Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark.
Yeah, they said they showed gameplay. Supposedly it's fake. I don't know. All right.
Well, check this out.
Because I know we saw gameplay at the show.
Yeah,
like,
the guy.
I'm not tweaking, right?
The guy that left.
They're trying to say it was fake gameplay.
Brian Horton is the guy. He joined the initiative as creative director for Perfect Dark reboot after leaving PlayStation. He was brought in to contribute his experience for the upcoming reimaging of the Secret Agent series, and now he's done. He lost his job. Wow. Look at all of this. So the initiative went through the Xbox Studio, right? Then they partnered with Crystal Dynamics. Then they focused on immersive.
Are we still live, by the way?
Well, yeah, we still live. They can't.
Okay.
Bro. I'm sorry. That's the biggest L, bro.
Hey, man,
Sony says, facts. Ricky Phil was bad from the start. Say that again, Vaughn?
Hey, Sony ain't cancel that, Secret Agent game, man. If y'all need that in your life, come over.
What Secret Agent game are you speaking of, brother?
The Kojima game, Fizznet.
Oh, yeah. Well, so Thriller Elite says Phil bought a money-making machine in Activision to Microsoft. Phil ain't going nowhere. Man, Phil should...
Can we agree we want these companies to stop buying studios now? Because really, they not helping these companies by buying them?
No.
Well, the initiative wasn't a bought studio. It was one they made.
Rare was, though.
I know, but they let off a lot of people.
Yeah, but they've owned Rare for like 20 years or whatever it is.
Yeah, how many games they put out since they owned them? Can I see them?
What'd you say?
How many games?
I don't think they put out anything.
Jesus Christ!
Outside of Rare Replay. Outside of Rare Replay.
Are you serious?
No, I think I'm dead serious. I don't think they've done anything with Rare for like 20 years, bro.
My God!
If they have done something, I don't know what it is.
You know what? On that note, I'm done.
Hold on. What games has Rare put out since Microsoft bought
Sea of Thieves, that's it.
Hold on.
Oh,
Sea of Thieves. I think that's the only game, really.
Oh my God!
Hold on. They've done.
That game was.
They bought them in 2002. They had Grabbed by the Ghoulies, Perfect Dark Zero in 2005, Cameo Elements of Power 2005, Viva Pinata 2006, Banjo-Kazooie 2008. And then after that, there was a 10-year gap until Sea of Thieves 2008.
Nothing since
Hey, Rose, he just left too. The guy that made Banjo-Kazooie, he left too.
Yeah.
He just left today.
And they didn't even put out the Killer Instinct, even though they owned IP. They didn't put out the Killer Instinct. That was a different studio.
Now, hold on. Isn't that the guy
I don't understand why you have made more of that game, but okay.
Isn't that the guy that did Donkey Kong Country?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's him. Yeah, it's the guy that did Donkey Kong Country.
And then, man.
And he's gone? Y'all leaving that. Bro, that guy's gone? Damn.
Yeah, that
Burials.
wait, but
All right.
it's still funny because Sea of Thieves was successful. That's why I was kind of like blown away by that, like because that game was successful. So I was like, huh.
I gotta read this super chat from Burial. So thank you for the $2 facts, Ricky. Phil was bad from the start.
I actually read it already. You were kind of like going into business for yourself.
Now, what's really throwing me off too is Fable. Because I know Fable didn't show up on
you
the
know
show
what,
either,
bro?
So and that studio, the studio that's making it, they did it cut. Yeah, they let people go. So I know
No. Wait, was it Turn 10? Did they do
the one that did the racing game?
No, the
or making
Horizon.
Fable?
No, the other one, Playground, making for
Fable. Yeah, they got cut too. What I don't understand is that, like, I know somebody said some of these games are good, but if they're gonna continue to make more like cuts, like how I'm like, bro, like what?
I don't think they're making no more Forza Motorsports, Rose.
No, they're not. But what I'm saying is that Vaughn, if they're gonna continue to because somebody said they're still not done letting people go, but if they're gonna continue to let more people go, people sure like these. Like, I don't know. I mean, because I was surprised to not see Fable at the show.
They're up to 15,000 people this year. 15,000.
I think no. This is like the third round, if I'm not mistaken.
But they're total. This year. I'm saying I ain't talking about the last year. I'm talking about this year, 2025.
Oh yeah,
15,000. They go 50,000.
I was because somebody did set that it's the games that they didn't show. That's why I was kind of worried because I want to see Fable.
Bro, now we can say the games they don't show probably means they're not coming. Think about it.
Yeah, because out of the 4, they did cancel 2 of them. So Perfect Dark and Everwild didn't show, so that got
Contraband
canceled.
probably not.
Everwild got shown like in 2020. Nobody. That game was just.
Yeah, they had nothing, bro. Years ago they told you Everwild was in development hell, but they kept telling you that Perfect Dark was in development hell too. They kept saying that.
Is Fable was technically in development hell also? That should have been developed for 7 years.
But they already said Fable's coming next year.
Yeah, but Matt Booty said they had a playable version of the game. That's what Matt Booty said.
So did
Phil.
Perfect Dark.
Yeah, I was about to say it. Phil said the same shit.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think Fable was one of the games he sat there and announced at the end of the show was coming for Xbox 2025 anniversary. Now, I'm expecting him to come. If they don't come, he announced they're coming up with the 25th anniversary of Xbox next year, and they don't, I'm gonna say it's time for him to go after that. All right, time for him to go.
No, what if Fable don't live up to the hype they've been building this game around for like the last 7-8 years?
I don't think it will. I think visually. I think visually it will look good because the Horizon games do look good, but they don't know dick about making an RPG. Like, are you nuts? They don't know nothing about making.
I wouldn't say that. They literally make one with RPG elements and for the Horizon.
That ain't good enough, bro. Where's that story?
This is not Turn 10. This is a different studio.
I know. Oh shit, my battery's dying. All right, it's time to go. All right, so listen, appreciate everybody for coming through. I found out a lot about some of you Xbox guys. I did.
You ain't find out nothing. You just make it.
I found a lot about you people. You don't care about people getting laid off, and
here you go with the lie.
You guys, man, I got to tell you, there's a nice warm spot in hell for you people.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
It is. I want to thank everybody that came through. Thank you, Levon, for putting the show together. We did get some last minute help from Microsoft not be able to manage their company as usual. And, I say it again. Microsoft, they take 1 step forward, they take 2 steps back. That's what always happens. They talk about they sold more software than any publisher, and then what do? They go raise prices after that. You're getting good reviews on Doom. You got yourself a good showcase that came out, and now you done cut half of everybody. Like, they just, man. They're like the Knicks. Microsoft's like the Knicks. They're like the Knicks. They are just like the Knicks.
If you're being honest, man, Obsidian might be next if the Outer Worlds 2 don't perform.
Oh my goodness, bro. Cut it out, bro.
Well, not Obsidian.
You say that about every single studio on Sony, all right?
Oh, man.
Not the big ones, you can.
Dang. Man, oh, man. All right, well, by the way, again, somebody else is going to get fired soon. Mike Brown is the Knicks head coach. So.
Oh, yeah, y'all didn't talk about what's my call, man. Quick shout out to one of the Game of the Years that was just recently released, Death Stranding 2, sitting at a 90 Metacritic.
Okay,
I
well,
don't nobody care about that delayed.
well, hold on.
multiplatter.
Oh man,
Yeah, you know what? You know what? I can't cap that. The part 2 do look really good, bro. I mean, I don't think people can criticize was the action. Kind of knocked it out the park. I think like we got to be honest. Like it does look really good. So.
Yeah, I got the collector's edition. I'll be on it as soon as I'm done with Doom: The Dark Ages. One game at a time.
I am contemplating on it, but I just don't want to play it because then I feel I gotta go play the first.
You got to go
game.
play
I
the
don't
first
know.
one. You do not play the second one if you didn't play the. You got to go play the first one.
Man. I might.
Then come the
I
second.
might just have to pull some of the some of these people go on YouTube, man.
I think Ghost of Yote might be a game of the year contender also. That's looking great.
But they got more game. They got more gameplay.
They're showing that this month.
Here's where listen, and I respect all of that. I'll see what Death Stranding is. Hopefully, I'll be able to start by Friday. Well, maybe Saturday because I gotta be cooking on the grill and shit. But so far, Expedition 33 is good. Doom Dark Ages is not game of the year. Expedition 33.
Nobody, you didn't know that when motherfuckers didn't talk about that at the launch day.
All right, bro. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and again, I know the Xbox guy is gonna be mad at me. This Doom shit is so repetitive. I don't even want to play it anymore, and I don't know if that's because I want to hurry up and get the Death Stranded. But I'm
Bro,
like,
I have told you guys for years.
It's becoming like a
shooters.
nuisance.
Arena shooters have been dead for decades.
So Ricky, let me ask you this, man. You played multiple Xbox games. They got all these games this year. Have they released an amazing game to you this year so far?
If amazing. My favorite.
I'm talking about game of the year contender.
Have they released a game contender? Oh man, no. Game of the year that's Expedition 33. It's not an Xbox game.
It was on Game Pass though.
Yeah, I get it. But now listen, Doom. It's not a bad game, but it ain't game of the year. Avowed. I didn't like
Oblivion.
that too much. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I mean, if you count that Oblivion remake or remaster or whatever, then people are pushing for that to get game of the year.
That didn't even score high. I scored lower than the rest.
That's not what you asked. You didn't ask that, Vaughn.
For what we pay, it's a good value. For what we pay, it's a good value.
Who cares about a good value if they give you a bunch of mid-ass games?
It's not a big game. That's what we try to tell you.
Nobody yelling Oblivion for a game of the year, though.
I heard somebody saying that.
Hey,
I don't remember who.
Listen. I wouldn't tell the game of the year because it's a remaster. Which avoids definition of what a game means.
Listen. This ain't winning it. This ain't getting nominated. This ain't Resident Evil 4, brother. It's not on the same level. It's not even the same stratosphere.
Brother, it's a bigger game than Resident Evil 4. What are you talking about?
But it's not going to get nominated. It's not well received.
I don't know if it's going to get nominated. Not all I'm saying is it's just a bigger game.
Hold on, what Resident Evil 4 get? Like a 94?
That's fine.
Hey, it's levels to it, man.
Well, so far nobody said
what? Like it's not a game on that Sony owns.
Well, hold on. The highest rated game right now is Expedition 33. That's the highest rated game. That's the highest rated game. I played it. I beat it. Put almost 100 hours into the damn thing.
Hey, that's how it's read. This shit don't mean nothing, man.
Oh, see, now they don't mean this dude. Yo, pick a lane, bro.
No. Hold on, let me finish my line. I'm just saying, 2018 showed us, man, when God of War took down
so
Red
if it don't mean anything, then you shouldn't be making that comment.
Yeah,
about
but that hasn't never. But hold on, Vaughn. That hasn't happened since though.
Let me say that. I can't say that about Oblivion. I think all of the game of the year. Contenders gonna have to score damn near 90 to be nominated this year. All the highest games is 90.
I can see that.
I think this might be the first year where every game is like a 90 rated game.
So Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong might get it. What was he rated at?
We going if it scored 90.
Yeah, it might.
It will.
It's going to.
Bro, those Nintendo first parties, Vaughn,
it looks amazing.
Them shits are always 90s, bro.
They made better Mario team as well.
I don't mean nothing.
When's the last Donkey Kong game to get like rated bad? Like them shits.
There hasn't been one.
It got good music. It got Pauline in there. Come on, bro.
Yeah. All right. Well, no, Thriller Ali. I'm not living in doom and gloom. I just need niggas to hold Phil Spencer accountable. Y'all guys act like Phil Spencer's John Gotti around here. You got to stop this, bro. He should have gave up part of his salary to get Perfect Dark finished. That was on him. He needs to fit. Briadios! He says Microsoft did some subliminal
advertising. Thank you for the $2, Barrios. Thank you.
I didn't know you was there, Levon. My bad, brother.
I'm just letting y'all talk. Listen,
yeah, it's trying to end this show. I gotta cook this steak. I'm
Ricky Khan's getting a 94 rating.
94? You gonna hold that?
Don't let that happen. If it don't, oh, man, I'm trolling.
Oh man, they do get rated high though. So I ain't, bro. Them shits, man. Nintendo had 2 games rated for Game of the Year at one time. They had that Tears of the Kingdom and that Mario joint was in the
Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
But they haven't had a nomination in a couple years.
Odyssey say 97. So
yeah, bro. And remember, Baldur's Gate beat the shit out of everybody one year. The year before that, Elden Ring. Man, I don't know, Vaughn. You tell me Sony these go. They ain't had a GOTY. I mean, they had the Astrobot, but it's 1.5 million. I don't know.
I don't think that count. I mean,
I don't know if anybody played it.
I know that counts. Sales don't got nothing to do with that. Sales don't have nothing to do with Game of the Year.
Part of being Game of the Year doesn't it have to do with people actually buying your game and playing it.
That's like saying the Oscars winning Best Picture. You got to have them. Everybody got to see the movie.
Astrobot just copied Mario Odyssey, bro.
They showed the comparison side by side, like it's a Mario game.
They took somebody else's. They took somebody else's.
So what do you think deserves Game of the Year? So what do you think deserves Game of the Year?
That don't.
Well, that year
came out. So I don't
know. I mean.
Not Astro.
I mean, what was it? Indiana Jones came out too late, right? It came out too
late.
There
was Indiana Jones.
It would technically be counted for this year.
Yeah,
my bad. Go ahead,
there was the Elden Ring. There was that Metaphor game.
I don't think Elden Ring even though Elden Ring is doing good, I don't think Night Ring gonna win. I don't think it's gonna win twice.
Metaphor.
All right, well, listen. All right, I appreciate y'all coming through. We'll do it again sometime this weekend. We ain't gonna do it on Friday. That's 4th of July, so we might do a Saturday night primetime arcade. We might do that because we might hear that Contraband or something got canceled in the next coming days. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy.
It's funny as hell, bro.
And Rose and Mello and the rest of these guys.
Rick, who was you going back and forth with earlier? Then you said
Mello and Rose. These guys, they won't, bro.
Mello,
goddamn,
bro, they are cool.
Don't let him spin. Don't let him spin any story.
Mello. I mean, you know how that is, man.
Bro, come on, it's Xbox.
Ricky Brown finna lie his behind off right now.
To admit that Mello ain't gonna be like, yeah, this is
bullshit. Hey, Ricky, do it feel like the Switch 2 out to you? It's like no hype around that motherfucker.
I haven't heard anything. I've seen them release something about sales, but I haven't heard.
It's breaking the chart.
Are you talking about like in this community or just in general?
Well, we know it's only a few of you 3 weirdos that play that thing.
No, it's talking to town.
Are you talking
really? Talking to town? Yeah, it is.
What?
No, it's all over IGN.
To be honest with you, I ain't heard nobody talk about that Switch 2.
not
like that.
Y'all have a good night.